Hello and welcome to postponed Friday with Fiona. So it's now Sunday with Fiona. I'm really sorry about that. I had to take my husband to the doctors and then we had to go to the hospital for a chest x-ray, but hopefully everything's okay. And we just had a quiet weekend, bit of a family get together yesterday. So I'm hoping to show you today. So this is part 3 of my how to get started with paper crafting series, and today is ribbon and embellishments, and I have to say I just love my ribbon. So these 3 are from the current mini catalogue, and I do have loads more. My phone is attached. Maybe I could just turn this and see if you can see. Here we go, ribbon, and that's where my current mini catalogue stash is. So let's just turn this back. There we go. Okay, so now I have these 3 ribbons. I'm not going to use all of them. I just wanted to show them to you. And then as demonstrators, we're lucky enough to, well, one of the perks is being able to pre-order. So the mini catalogue for spring will come out to customers in January, beginning of January, but we get to no, sorry, what am I talking about? It's not mini catalogue. This is online exclusives, but it is spring stuff, even before the mini catalogue. And this is Lost Lagoon. It's not twine, it's called soft cording, and I just want to get it out to show you without the bag. And it's so soft. I managed to find the end. And I've just put, with scissors, I've just put a little, let me get rid of my face. I always forget to do that. There we go. So I found the end, and then with scissors, I just cut this little, I don't know what you would call it, gap. And then I can pop my end, oh, actually it's going to go right around like that. Pop my end in. And then it's easy to find. The reason it's still in the bags is there's gold, and that is twisted thread. I'm still in Christmas mode. I haven't kind of even thought about spring yet. And now going on to embellishments, this is how I store my embellishments. So my ribbons I keep on the rolls that they come in. And then I saw this very good idea. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of these clips. Just realised I do have some pegs. And I think it's a great idea. So you just got your end and you pop a clip and it keeps it. Now, I've just realised I've got some pegs. So I'm going to see if I can do this with the... otherwise, this is so soft. This is wild wheat. But I think it looks like gold. And that's what I use it for. I really wasn't a fan of wild wheat when it first came out 15 months ago or so. But oh yes, it does. There we go. Put my peg on there and hold it. But when I use it for gold, so it's kind of grown on me. And then this is cherry cobbler with gold. Again, these are all in the holiday mini catalogue. When I say holiday, it's September to December. So it's got birthdays. It's got, oh, see, there's not enough room to hold that. There we go, sideways on. Now, which one am I going to use? That's real red, so I'm not going to use that. I am actually, I think, going to use the wild wheat, and that is shaded spruce. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, there is another thing. So next week, we're looking at colouring, and there is something that I was going to do today, which is kind of stepping on next week's toes. Now, this is basic beige, okay, and it is great to colour. If you've got blends or pro markers or anything like that, you can colour this in. So it's kind of stepping on next week's toes a little bit, but I will show you what to do with that. But I'm gonna actually use the so these are the cards that we started off with. We did the matting and layering, different sizes. Then last week we did stamping, and I've put the labels on, and I did actually leave that hole there, which is where you would put some twine or some ribbon. So I just want to share with you how I do my embellishments. So I've got this tray just off Amazon, and they're actually passport holders from Amazon, and I label them with my Dymo, and then I just put them, and they tend to be in the order of what I've used most recently. It did start off in alphabetical order, but it kind of doesn't stay that way. And then what I've got at the back, I've actually got some retired ones, but they're kind of for use on personal things. And these are the glow in the dark from last Halloween, which I've just used on a card. So they're all labelled. Now I've got the peppermints. Unfortunately, they're on back order at the moment, but they will be back in November. I haven't labelled these ones yet. These are druzy, and they are just stunning. But they are a little bulky, so it is going to mean that you need it would probably have to go as large letter, I think, if you use them, because they are quite thick. And then these ones, which is the berries, and again they're in cherry cobbler, and I've used real red, but I could, again, stepping onto the colouring next month, I could colour these clear ones in. And then these snowflakes, which were or still are an online exclusive from last year, and they're copper, gold and white, but I don't really think they go with my project. So I'm just going to use, so I've got green, real red, what I really need, I've got some flat pearls, they might go quite nicely, iridescent gems, dragonflies and birds, kind of not really appropriate for Christmas gifts, faceted gems, and there I've got some glossy dots, but they're quite flat, and I've got pink, yellow, blue, got iridescent pearls here. Now they're quite small, petal pink and pretty peacock, purple shimmer, swirl dots, that goes with the Latte Love suite, tinsel gems. What I think we'll use is the iridescent pearls, and we will cross over. So I might actually just use those as they are. So now, the way I've been taught, and for some reason, the brain apparently likes odd numbers. So 3 is an ideal number to put on a card. I tend to do 3 or 5. Anything more than that, I think, is real overkill. Excuse my, I just turned my grid paper over in it. So I'm going to use 3. And the other thing is sizing. So you've got, just hold them up. You've got larger ones at the bottom here and slightly smaller ones. And what I tend to do is I'm going to kind of play around. Now, if I don't push them down too hard, I'm hoping I'll be able to reposition them. So if you're going to use them all the same size, and these ones I will take, I'm going to just do them at the top on the right hand side as you look at it, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 down the card. There we go. And so that kind of stands out, I think. Let's see if I can get those off. Yes, I can. Now the other thing, so you've got these bows on the card. I wouldn't use the big ones for that. Let me see if I can get these off without marking the card. Yeah, I didn't really try not to push down, so I'll get those back off. Okay. I use the small ones now, and I'm going to pop them in the middle of my bows. 1, 2, and I'm just kind of dotting them randomly. But when you look at that, actually that's in a straight line, so it's kind of pleasing to the eye. I don't know if you can see that. So I've got one here. Gosh, I can't see it at all. And then one here and one here, and I'm going to leave them like that. Here we go. And then I stamped my sentiment in red and green. So I said I was going to use my gold. So I'm going to do this card first, and then we'll see. And I'm just going to tie a bow. Now the way I do it is I do around this. There's 2 ways to do it. This is the way I do it now. I find it easier. There is another way which I will show you. Now I'm really not sure if this is going to go with this card. And then I would just put it sideways there. Might go. Let's just, and also the other thing is I have a special pair of scissors for cutting ribbon, which is why it has ribbon on it. Because if you use your paper, the scissors that you use for paper, they get blunt. And then when you go to cut your ribbon, you end up with it all frayed and everything. So I'm just going to cut diagonally there, and the same thing there. And what I would normally do is just tuck it. It's a bit too big for the size of card, so I'm just going to play with that. This is beautiful, really. Can you see it? It's got a kind of shimmer to it. There we go. And pop that there. So now I need to trim it again. Oh, got a little charm on there and it's getting caught up. There we go. It's very soft as well, so it won't make your card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that gem because you can't see it, and I'm going to pop it there. Might be more visible on the green. Right, now I'm going to take a glue dot. Glue dots are great for ribbon. And I'm going to put my ribbon on top of the glue dot. Take my, what are these called? What are these called? Oh, for goodness sake. Tweezers, thank you. And then I'm just going to pop it at the top like that. Okay, and there you've got it. I've got 1, 2, 3 embellishments, and I've got my ribbon, and that's really, really pretty. So let's pop that to the side. Okay, so now I've got this card here, and actually I really want some, where did I put my little peg? I really want some green ribbon. So that was the thing. I was going to show you the other way to tie a bow. So the other way is to make 2 loops like that, and then I don't know what they call them, bunny ears, I think I've heard them called. You see, I struggle with this. Oh, that's not too bad actually, but this is really soft and pliable ribbon. Okay, so that's the other way to do it. That's actually not bad. But what I want to do actually is, now you can see on here, I had, obviously for another project, I needed yellow dots. So I went over with my blends and I coloured them, but I will show you that in more detail next week. But now I want green. I've decided I want green ribbon. There's a lot of red with the card and then the presents, and I want some green. Now, unfortunately, we don't have garden green blends, but what would be the nearest? We have shaded spruce light. Let's see what that's like. I think that's not bad. So the first thing I'm going to do is tie my bow so I know how much ribbon I need. I'm reverting to my preferred way. Ribbon scissors. Right, now I know I'm going to need to adjust that. That's probably going to be too big, but it's better to have too much rather than too little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my card out of the way. I'm going to lay that out, and I'm going to take the brush end. So you've got this thick line, and it's my shaded spruce light. Okay, and I'm just going to go over. Yeah, that's not bad actually. It's not exact, but it's probably the best I'll get. And I'm going to just keep going up my ribbon. There we go. And I'm going over. I'm turning my nib around to get good coverage. See, it's darker when I've gone over it a couple of times. And that is probably as close as I'm going to get to garden green. Now, because this is basic beige, it's a really pale colour. You can do it on white as well. If you do it on a coloured ribbon that's already got colour, it can affect your shading, so you just need to be aware of that. I've just turned it round so that I can do the end. And I'm going to turn it, I just missed a bit there. And I'm going to turn it over. So you can see it's lighter on the back, which obviously we don't want, because when we tie our ribbon, we're going to get bits of the back coming through. So as I said, this is just kind of stepping into next week's territory with the colouring bit. The other thing that it's doing, this was really, really soft ribbon, and the blend is making it, when it dries, the blend is making it a little bit stiffer. But that's no problem, it's fine. I think that's probably enough. I'm just going to give that, the blends dry very, very quickly, although I probably still will end up with it all over my hands. just going to see if I drag that along. Yes, a little bit. I'm going to get a bit on my hands, so that's okay. So I'm just going to tie my bow again, trying not to get too much green on my hands. And just adjusting my bow. Don't want it to be too big, and it's going to cover. So I don't want it to be too big. So I said I'm going to be cutting quite a bit off. Okay, pop that. Then I get my glue dot. Oh, no, I've got green on that finger. I need to clean it. Do that on my chamois in a second. And that's going to go there. Now you can leave the long ends. I'm just going to get that green off my fingers because I don't want it transferring to the card. There we go. So I can leave it like that, okay, or I can just trim, which I'm probably going to do is a little bit fraying on there. Oops. So I'm just going to trim that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's the green. So that's kind of not a bad match. I mean, the great thing about Stampin' Up! Is that all the colours coordinate. So even though it's not a perfect match for garden green, oh, it's come off my glue dot. Okay, now I just want to show you the difference. So let's take that one off. So that's colouring it. Let's leave that there. It's come off. I think it's wet, so that's why it's not sticking. The other thing you can do is I've got white, so I could use one of the beautiful ribbons that I've got. So this is iridescent. I was going to show that green through it, but so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and tie a small bow. I don't seem able to tie small bows. Let's try it with the bunny ears. This is so soft and light. You literally don't know that you're holding anything. It's beautiful. I don't think I've used it before. There we go. And then that takes away, and also for Christmas, obviously, you've got some glitter. Okay, so I need to just pull that bit through and make that one a bit smaller and tighter. There we go. And then I'm going to pop that. So I just need to get this off because it's got the green ink on it. So it's still wet, the ribbon. And I'll just get another glue dot. Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't done my, I need some of those clips. I'll have to look for them. I did see somebody on a video had gingerbread men pegs. I thought, oh, they look lovely, but I think it was America, so I'll have to look. Now I haven't got any embellishments on this one, so I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to put them on the tag. So I want a big one. No, I don't actually. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Right. No, I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use something different because they didn't really show up on the other card. And even though I know they're there, they're not really standing out. So what shall I use? Okay, let's use the peppermints. Here we go. So as I said, I think these are on back order at the moment. They are coming back in and they're due in November. Which, let's face it, what's the date today? It's the 20th. Okay, so it's not long. And now I've got 3 sizes of these. That's probably going to be too big. Let's try. Oh, they feel like they feel squidgy. Let's put that in front there. And there. And there. And there you go. So I've got the wild wheat ribbon emulating gold, and then I've got my 3 pearls on there, and then here I've got the iridescent ribbon, which is just stunning, and I've got my peppermints in the bows, and actually they do, I can see those straight away. So you can just go to town, really. The rule of thumb I would say is less is more. If you put too many embellishments on, your cards can look overcrowded, so it's always best to start with just a couple, or 3 is the ideal number, and the ribbon. And if it doesn't work, take it off. Now I've got twine and I've got a whole there. I could actually, I've got the red, where's my red twine? Okay, I'll be there. So you can just play around with it, but as I said, less is more. Okay, so this Friday I will be back with colouring, so we'll be colouring all sorts of things, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.